So friends, let's continue our discussion about classifications. In our previous video, we have discussed what is classification, why classification is necessary, what are the types of classification based on the characteristics used for classification, the types like artificial classifications, natural classifications and phylogenetic classifications. Today we would discuss some examples of classification. One from natural classification, and that is Bentham and Hooker system. Then phylogenetic classification by Engler and Princhel, and lastly the Hutchinson system. So let's start them. Friends, let's begin with Bentham and Hooker system, one of the most widely utilized classification, widely acclaimed classification, one of the most easy classification, easy for handling to the students, to the researchers, to the teachers, and it is used all over the world in the laboratories for identification of the plants, to prepare the herbaria, to prepare the botanical gardens, like that. So it is a great natural classification given by Bentham and Hooker. George Bentham was a self-trained British botanist. Z.D. Hooker was director of the Royal Botanic Gardens, Kew, England. Now this Royal Botanic Garden is the largest botanical garden in the world. It has the largest number of herbarium specimens also. They together described all known genera of seed plants in 3 volumes of their work, Genera Plantarum. The books they published were named as Genera Plantarum. They published 3 volumes of this book, Genera Plantarum, and it was published in Latin language during July 1862 to April 1883. 3 volumes, Genera Plantarum. It is the most accepted system of plant classification, still used and followed in several herbaria of the world. There was a time when it was spread or it was used throughout the world. Still now, though it is a natural classification and the modern classifications are phylogenetic classifications, even then this natural classification is still being used in half of the world for the herbaria, for the botanical gardens. In most of the Indian herbaria too, the plants are arranged according to this system. We, the Indian people, arrange the plants in botanical gardens and in herbaria according to this system. We still follow this system in the laboratories. It is supposed to be the best system for the students to identify plants in the laboratories. This is so because Bentham and Hooker prepared the generic descriptions of the plants from their own observations. This is very important. In majority of the cases, it happens that when one scientist or taxonomist publishes a system, he generally follows 2 to 3 other systems and develops his own system. He never goes to the field. He never goes to the nature. He never goes to the plants and he gives the classification. But in this case, Bentham and Hooker system is the great natural classification because they themselves have studied these plants. Whatever genera comes in their system, they have observed the plants. They observed the plants and they did not copy it by themselves, and this is a great feature of the system. According to them, see the figures, natural orders, families were called as natural orders by them: 82 polypetalae, gamopetalae 42, monoclamidae 36, gymnosperms 3, monocots 34, Total 200 families were given by them, described by them, 7,565 genera and 97,205 species. So Bentham and Hooker's system of classification is clearly derived from the systems of De Gesserit and De Candolle basement. Then they divided all phanerogams or seed plants into dicots, gymnosperms and monocots. Here you can see here three families or natural orders of gymnosperms. So they described 44 genera of gymnosperms and 415 families of gymnosperms. Large genera are divided into sections and subsections, and the description of genera is complete and accurate. They have observed the plants in the genera, and therefore the description of the genera is complete and it is accurate also. In all, they described 97,205 species belonging to 7,565 genera of 200 families. We call it families, they called it as natural orders. Bentham and Hooker called families as natural orders. So they have described these many flowering plants. Perennials were placed in the beginning and grasses at the end in this classification. Now, Bentham and Hooker gave this system at a time when other scientists were going for phylogenetic system. But Bentham and Hooker decided purposefully that we would develop a natural classification. So nowadays, when we study phylogenetic classifications, the position is very important. We try to see which groups are earlier and which groups are at the end, towards the end of classification, because in phylogeny the position is very important. In the classification of Bentham and Hooker, they placed the Rannells in the beginning and grasses at the end. When we see towards the system by phylogenetic perspective, the positions matter, otherwise it is a natural classification. So this is the outline of the classification. Phanerogams or the seed bearing plants, they were divided into three classes: class Dicotyledone, class Gymnospermae and class Monocotyledone. The dicot class was divided into three subclasses: subclass Polypetalae with three series in Polypetalae: Thalamiflorae, Disciflorae and Calciflorae. Subclass Gamopetalae, again three series: Inferae, Heteromerae and Bicarpellate. And subclass Monoclamidae was also known as Apetalae or Heteromerae. It is divided into 8 series. We would not go for gymnosperms because that is the group of non-flowering plants. So class Monocotyledone was divided into 7 series directly, no subclasses, direct 7 series for monocot. Come to the outline. Dicotyledons, the plants are with reticulate venation, 2 cotyledons and pentamerous flowers. Subclass Polypetalae with separate petals, petals are free. Series, now this is Polypetalae is divided into 3 series. The first one is Thalamiflorae, where stamens are many, hypogynous disc is absent. It contains 6 cohorts. Now cohort is the term used by Bentham and Hooker for order. So 6 orders from Rannells to Malvaceae. Rannells is the first order in the classification. The classification starts with dicot with Polypetalae subclass. Thalamiflorae is the first series and Rannells is the first group. Ranunculaceae is the first family. So Rannells to Malvaceae, these are the 6 cohorts which are placed here. The second series is Disciflorae. Stamens are hypogynous and disc is present. These are the characters of Disciflorae. Cohorts are for Geranials to Sapindales. Then the third series is Calciflorae. Thalamiflorae, Disciflorae and Calciflorae. Stamens are perigynous and are epigynous and ovary is inferior. Cohorts are 5, rosales to umbellals. Subclass second. The first one was polypetally. Second subclass is gamopetally. Petals are partially or completely fused. Gamo means united petals, fused petals. Again, three series. The first series is inferi with inferior ovary. Cohorts are 3, rubeals to campanils. Second series is heteromere, ovary is superior, androecium 1 or 2 series. Carpels are more than 2. Androecium in 2 series, heteromere. So, carpels are more than 2. It is heteromere. Third series, the cohorts in the heteromere are 3, auricales to ebenils. The third series is bicarpellatory, where ovary is superior, androecium is in one series and carpels are 2, bicarpellatory. So this is the gamopetally subclass. The cohorts are gentianales to lamelles in bicarpellatory. Now coming to the monoclamidae, where the subclass monoclamidae is divided into few series, 7 series. The first one is Carhembri, embryo coiled, ovals generally 1. Amaranthus to many other natural orders. Series second is Multiovulati aquatici. Now this contains ovals, many immersed aquatic plants. Multiovulati terrestris. Ovals are many but plants are terrestrial. Series fourth is microembry, where the embryo is very minute, micro. Series Daphnalis, fifth series, ovary with 1 carpel and 1 ovule. The series sixth is a chlamydospore, usually inferior ovary, 1 locule with 1 to 3 ovules. Series seventh is unisexuals. Flowers are unisexual and the family is from Euphorbiaceae, few others. Series 8 is Ardines Anomaly. 8 series are there. So Ardines Anomaly is a not typical series. It is the group of uncertain relationship. The families which cannot be put into other 7 groups, they are collected here in Ardines Anomaly. Otherwise, typical series are 7 here in Monoclamidae. Coming to the monocotyledons, class monocotyledons, the plants in monocots are with parallel venation, 1 cotyledon in the embryo and trimerous flowers is the character. The series, 7 series are there. First series is microspermy. Subclasses are not there in monocots. The first series is microspermy, minute and exalbuminous seeds, Orchidaceae and 2 other natural orders. Series second is epigyny, where inferior ovary is present. The seeds are minute. Iridaceae or Amaryllidaceae, few other 5 more natural orders. Series third is coronary, where ovary is superior and perianth is colored. Liliaceae, Commelinaceae, 6 other. Series fourth one is Calycinae, superior ovary, green perianth, Juncaceae, Palmae, Flagellariaceae. Series fifth one is Nudiflorae, where perianth is usually absent, superior ovary, Typhaceae, Araceae and few other. Series 6 is apocarpy, where carpels are free, apocarpous condition. We see in majority of the plants the condition is syncarpous, where few are there with apocarpus, and in monocots apocarpy is a special series, Alismaceae and 2 other families. Series 7th, last series is Glomaceae with a reduced perianth, bracts are large and scaly. Reduced perianth. So you can see large perianth in microspermy, then slowly the reduction is there and the Glomaceae is with reduced perianth. Cyperaceae, Gramineae or Poaceae. Now we call it as Poaceae. It few other three more. Now coming to the merits and demerits of Bentham and Hooker's system. It is the first great natural system. These are the merits. This is widely utilized, very useful system, great natural classification. It is very easy to follow for all practical purposes, and that is why several herbaria and botanical gardens of the world, including India, are arranged according to this system. This is a system with practical utility. Therefore, all over the world, there was a time when natural classification was preferred and this system was preferred, but later on, some of the herbaria in the world, they replaced this system with the Engler and Prandtl system. But even then, still, there is a big portion where the system is used presently also. The system was never planned by Bentham and Hooker on the basis of phylogeny. I told you. Phylogeny. They never, actually their period was post-Darwinian period. Darwin announced his theory of evolution in 1859. The system is published later on, after 1859. So it is actually a post-Darwinian system, and majority of the post-Darwinian system tried to be phylogenetic, but they, Bentham and Hooker, decided that they would go for a natural classification. They would not go for the phylogenetic classification, and therefore this system should not be criticized on the basis of phylogeny. We cannot say that phylogeny is not followed here because it is not phylogenetic system. Rannells have been given a primitive position in this system. Recent taxonomic findings also indicate that Rannells are most primitive in living angiosperms. So, though the system is not phylogenetic, the position of Rannells is very accurate because the modern phylogenetic systems also put Rannells in the beginning and they consider it as the most primitive group. Ranunculaceae or Anonaceae family, these are considered as the most primitive families. In this system, the monocots are derived from dicots. It is showed that monocots are derived from dicots because in the classification, monocots come later on, dicots are placed before monocots. Several recent taxonomic findings also support this view. Description of natural orders and genera are very elaborate in this system, and that is accurate because they studied the plants. They, whatever plants are mentioned, genera are mentioned, they have studied these plants in the Royal Botanic Garden, and therefore their description of the genera is elaborate and it is very accurate. Even the system have some demerits, and the strongest demerit is placement of gymnosperms in between the monocots and dicots. So don't know why they have committed this mistake. This is a big mistake because gymnosperms are non-flowering seeded plants, and they, Bentham and Hooker, gave a position to gymnosperm just in between the monocot and dicot. Dicot, gymnosperms and monocot, these are the three classes by them. So the position is wrong. Several important floral characters have been neglected in this system. Some of the closely related families have been separated and placed under different orders, and a number of unrelated families have been grouped together. Now, the examples are like this. All families of series Carvembrae, they are related to Caryophyllaceae of Thalamiflorae of Polypetalae. They should be in Polypetalae, but they are in Carvembrae. Podostemacea of series Multivolute Aquatica of Monoclamidae deserves a place under Rosales of the series Calciflorae of Polypetalae, but it is placed somewhere else. Nepenthes of series Multivolute Terrestris of Monoclamidae, it is related more to family Sarraceniaceae of orders Parieteles of Thalamiflorae, but it is placed in Multivolute Terrestris. Laurinaceae of series Daphnaceae is related closely with Magnoliaceae of Rannells, but it is placed somewhere else. Advanced families such as Orchidaceae have been considered primitive in this system by placing them in the beginning, microspermy. Orchidaceae comes in microspermy series, first series. So actually Orchidaceae should be considered as the most evolved advanced family. But again, we should not criticize the system on the basis of phylogeny, and that's why no argument. The entire arrangement of monocots is unnatural and unphylogenetic in this system. So in both the last 2 points, unphylogenetic, they have not prepared a phylogenetic classification. Even then, when we go for the phylogeny, these are some of the drawbacks or demerits of the system. Now come to the second Engler and Prandtl system of plant classification. Again, one of the most widely utilized system, and it is a phylogenetic system. Adolf Engler, a professor at University of Berlin, proposed this system. The system is based on Eichler's system. During 1887 to 1899, he published it along with his associate Karl Prandtl in several volumes of Die Natürlichen Pflanzenfamilien, the books, Die Natürlichen Pflanzenfamilien. Now this Engler and Prandtl system of classification has also been described as a transitional phylogenetic system by Lusinger, Jones and Lusinger. Transitional means it is not fully phylogenetic system. It is intermediate in between the natural and purely phylogenetic system. So it should be transitional phylogenetic system. But Radford and most of the other taxonomies described as a fully phylogenetic system, though it is a primitive phylogenetic system. It is published in between 1887 to 1899, where a lot work of phylogeny or the fossils was not done at that time. This profusely illustrated work of Engler and Prandtl provides keys and descriptions of all plant families known to them at that time. Now, the Engler and Prandtl system has one or two very key features, strong features, and one of them is that they have provided keys and descriptions of all the plant families. They have provided exhaustive keys for identification of the plants. They have described the plant families known to them at that time, means they have described right from algae up to the angiosperm. The classification includes algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms and angiosperms. All the plants, whatever green plant, it is included in this system. So this is the only system which includes the whole plant kingdom. At the same time, in this system they have given keys for identification of all the groups, and they have given a lot of examples of each case. The followers of Engler and Gill published a revised classification. After Engler and Prandtl, then Engler and Gill, they produced a revised classification, Syllabus de Pflanzenfamilien, in this book. Then several editions of the book later on also were published by Engler and Diels. After Engler, the latest 12th edition of the syllabus dealing angiosperm was edited by Melcher in 1964. So continuously the system is being revised and it is being developed. Even then, the name is constant, it is Engler and Prandtl system, though so many other workers have contributed in this system. The system is used in most of the non-British herbaria of the world. Remember, Engler and Prandtl, this system was, Engler was from Berlin University, and naturally the world at that time was divided, British and non-British world. They were opposite to one another, and therefore at some places like Germany and Italy, they were not ready to use Bentham and Hooker system, so they followed Engler and Prandtl system. They tried to use the terminology for different ranks of taxa in a more scientific way. The classified the whole plant kingdom into 14 divisions. Engler and Prantl classified in, they used the scientific terminology. They classified the whole plant kingdom into 14 divisions. The seed plants Phanerogamia are placed into the 14th division, which is split into two subdivisions, Gymnospermae and Angiospermae. So they divided Gymnosperms and Angiosperms separately. The mistake which was done by Bentham and Hooker is corrected here. The most noteworthy features of the Engler and Prantl system of classification. These are the important points of the system. They placed monocot before dicots. Now this is controversial point. They considered orchids to be more evolved than grasses. They considered apetalous and catkin bearing dicots primitive to the dicots bearing petals and simple unisexual flowers. They considered gamopetalous condition as an advancement over polypetalous. They considered indefinite number of stamens and carpels as the primitive character. Superior ovary is primitive to inferior according to them, and dicots and monocots were derived separately from some extinct groups of angiosperms. They considered that dicots are not evolved from monocots or monocots are not evolved from dicots. They have their parallel evolution from some extinct gymnosperms, might be the Benetitles or like that, Nettles like that. So these are the basic structure characteristics on which the system is based. Whenever we study the phylogenetic system, we have to consider what are the basic considerations by the scientist. Now, Engler and Prantl divided the plant kingdom into 14 divisions. The divisions are as follows: Schizophyta, where the Schizomycetes and Schizophyceae, then Mixothalophyta, Mixomycetes, Flagellati, Dinoflagellati, Bacillariophyta, Conjugati, Heteroconti, Chlorophyceae, Charophyceae, Phaeophyceae, Rhodophyceae, Eumycetes. First 10 are the groups for algae, then 12th group is for Eumycetes, fungi, then 13th is for bryophyta and pteridophyte. It is Archegoniata or Embryophyta, Ursiphonogama. In Embryophyta, Ursiphonogama, bryophytes and pteridophytes, two subdivisions are included, and this is the 14th division where Embryophyta, Siphonogama. Embryophyta Ursiphonogama, 13th one. Embryophyta Siphonogama, the 14th one. Subdivisions Gymnospermae and Angiospermae. This is the outline. Subdivision Angiospermae is divided into Monocotyledone and Dicotyledone. Two classes. Monocotyledone include 11 orders which are called as Rhe. Class Dicot is divided into subclass Archiclamidae and subclass Metaclamidae. Archiclamidae includes 33 orders or Rhe, and Metaclamidae includes 11 orders or Rhe. Now come to the Monocotyledone. The first Rhe is Pandanus, second Helobi, third Triuridales, Glomiflorae, Principals, Sinanthe, Spathiflorae, Farinosi, Liliflorae, Cytramini and Microspermae. These are the 11 Rhe or orders. We call them as orders, they call them as Rhe. Microspermae is the last one, which include Archidaceae through Bunaniaceae. Now see the position of Archidaceae. They have placed Archidaceae at the last, means according to them Archidaceae is the highest evolved. They have placed the Cyperaceae and Gramineae here at the 4th position in Glomiflorae. So there is little contrast about the positions of these monocots. Second is Dicotyledone, where subclass first is Archiclamidae. It includes the Teneri, Verticillasty, Piperil, hydrostachys, salicales, gharials, mericales, balanopsidales, latenarials, juglandales, and julianials. Other 18, total 18, batidales, phagales, utricales, podostamonales, proteales, santanales, aristolochials, and balanophorales. Now this is a classification I am little helpful. The further the orders are polygonales, centrospermierales, radials, like that. The last one is 33 umbelliflorae. Coming to the subclass 2 Metaclamidae, sympetalae also called as, where the petals are united. The first is dipensials up to campanulati. You can go to ericales, primulales, plumaginales, ebenales, contorti, then tubiflorae, plantaginales, urbiales, cucurbitales, and campanulati. So this is just the outline of Engler and Prandtl system. The system is one of the most widely utilized system. Still it has some merits and some demerits. Let's see what are the merits of Engler and Prandtl system. This is a convenient and well-known filing system of several herbaria of the world. Now we have used the same point about Bentham and Hooker. That is also used. Now suppose the world is divided into two parts. Half of the world, non-British world, uses the Engler and Prandtl system, the rest of the world uses the Bentham and Hooker system. So both these systems are very well known filing systems, and this system is also used in several herbaria of the world. It was adopted by most botanists, and it replaced the Bentham and Hooker system in many countries in Europe and America when they wanted to use the phylogenetic system. It has been recognized by International Botanical Congress. Again, this is additional feature of the system. It is recognized by International Botanical Congress, and we know this is the apex body which decides everything about botany, everything about the plant kingdom. This is a comprehensive system for all groups of plants, and it is a phylogenetic system. It is describing all groups of plants, right from algae to angiosperm, and again it is phylogenetic system. Polypetalae and monoclamidae of Bentham and Hooker were merged by Engler and Prandtl into one single subclass, Archiclamidae. He divided dicots into Archiclamidae and Metaclamidae. So there is no monoclamidae. It has been included into the Archiclamidae. The system treated families such as Orchidaceae and Compositae as the advanced. Orchidaceae in the monocots and Compositae in the dicots is considered as the advanced family by Engler and Prandtl. In this system, several closely related families like Liliaceae, Juncaceae, Iridaceae, Amaryllidaceae, all these are treated close to one another. Now this is mentioned here purposefully because this was a drawback or demerit of Bentham and Hooker system, where these families were not close to one another. Here they have been brought together. Abundant illustrations are provided along with the description of the families. This is a key feature. So many examples for families, so many examples for genera they have been given, they have been described. The system is provided with exhaustive keys of families and order. Now again a key feature, they have given, generally this is not given in the classification, keys are not given in the classification. Now we have to go for special books, special keys for identification of the plants, but Engler and Prandtl have provided keys in the classification itself for identification up to the genera level. The description of each family also contains a summary of embryology, morphology, anatomy, and geographical distribution. Now this is important. Initially we considered that taxonomy is the science of identification, nomenclature, and classification only, but now the horizons of taxonomy has increased wide. It has been widened and it includes the embryology, morphology, anatomy, and geographical distribution. So that is also provided with this system. Now the system definitely do have some demerits also. Engler and Prandtl system demerits. Monocots have been placed before dicots in this system. Now latest phylogeny states that monocots are more advanced than dicots, but in this system they have been placed before dicots. The origin of monocots is not considered from some primitive dicots, it is considered from separate gymnosperm. So that is again a drawback of the system. It is Rannales from which monocots have been derived. Rannales is the most primitive order among dicots and its position in the system is not justifiable. This was a strong merit of Bentham and Hooker system, but here it is a demerit. Naked flowers of Amantiferæ have been treated as primitive in this system. Amantiferous flowers, they have been treated as primitive. This is a demerit. Helobi consisting of primitive forms have been placed between two advanced orders, Glumiflorae and Pandanus. This is again a demerit, Helobi position. Araceae has been derived from Liliaceae, but Engler and Prandtl placed Araceae before Liliaceae. If it is derived from Liliaceae, then definitely it is more advanced than Liliaceae. It should be placed after Liliaceae, but they have mistaken it. Pandanus consist of families which are rather recent in evolutionary line, but they have been put here with primitive ones. This system fails to recognize the significance of a reduction, and because of this, simple were equated with primitive according to Conquest. Now this is a debate, this is a point to be discussed at large. We would not, it is not possible here, but in short there are two views. One is Englerian concept, another is Rannalian concept. According to Englerian concept, what is simple, it is primitive, but the Rannalian concept holds that the plants have been evolved, they raise the complexity to a particular stage, and after that they again become simple. So they become reduced. A reduction is advancement. Whatever primitive was considered previously, now it is considered that they are not primitive, they are reduced. So the monocot flowers, especially the Glumaceae members, the Gramineae and Cyperaceae, where the flowers are very much reduced, they were considered as primitive by Englerian concept, but the Rannalian concept, Rannalian school, where Conquest and many other scientists belong to Rannalian school, they consider that the reduction is advancement, it is evolution. So reduced flowers, they should be the advanced flowers, and that's why monocots are considered as the advanced than dicots. Anyhow, these are some of the demerits of the system. Now coming to the one more system, and it is pure phylogenetic system, Hutchinson system. John Hutchinson, a British botanist, gave an international phylogenetic system of plant classification. His system is close to that of Bassey. He published his system in Journal of Flowering Plants in 1973. Hutchinson based his system of classification on 24 principles. I mentioned previously also, when anyone gives a phylogenetic system, he has to publish the basic characteristics on which the system is based. What is the basement? What is the base of their thinking? How they have considered phylogeny? What is primitive? What is advanced according to him? Because there are two different views. So their view is expressed in 24 characters, which are known as the principles. So Hutchinson gave 25 principles, and then he based his system on those 25 principles. The first one is evolution is both downwards and upwards. Some organs, some flowers show upward evolution, some show downward. The a reduction is also there. Complexity is there and a reduction is also there. Evolution does not necessarily involve all organs at the same time. It is not the case. All organs might evolve at the same time. No, this does not happen. Generally, the evolution has been consistent process. It is gradual and consistent. Broadly, shrubs and trees are more primitive than herbs. Herbs are advanced. Shrubs and trees are primitive, according to Hutchinson. In comparison with climbers, shrubs and trees are older. Climbers are advanced. Perennials are older than annuals or perennials. Aquatic flowering plants are derived from terrestrial ancestors. So aquatic flowers plants are advanced. Then dicots are primitive as compared to monocots. Spiral arrangement of vegetative and floral leaves is primitive. Cyclic arrangement is advanced. Simple leaves are primitive. Compound leaves are advanced. Bisexual flowers are less advanced. Unisexual flowers more advanced. Dioecious plants are more recent than monoecious. Inflorescence is more advanced than solitary flowers. Types of estivation are evolved from contorted to imbricate to valvate. First is contorted, then imbricate, then valvate types of estivation. Polymerous flowers precede oligomerous or few parted flowers. Apetalous flowers are derived from flowers with petals. Polypetally is more primitive than gamopetally. In comparison to zygomorphy, actinomorphy is more primitive. Zygomorphy is advanced. Hypogyny is primitive. Perigyny advanced. Most advanced is epigynous. Apocarpy is primitive than syncarpy. Polycarpellar condition precedes a condition of a few carpels. Endospermic seeds with a small embryo are primitive to non-endospermic ones. Flowers with many stamens are primitive. Flowers with less stamens are advanced. Plants with separate anthers are primitive, and plants with fused anthers are filaments are advanced. Aggregate fruits are more highly evolved than single fruits. So these were the 24 principles. Now coming to the outline, phylum Angiospermy divided into subphylum dicots and monocots. We would not go through it. Lignosi is the first division with 54 orders. Division second is Herbaceae with 28 orders. Lignosi and Herbaceae. Subphylum Monocotyledons. It is divided into first division Caliciferae, second Coralliferae, and third is Glomiflorae with so many. So this is the outline. Merits of Hutchinson system. Families and orders in this system are of small size. Number of families is more, size is small. Orders are smaller, families are smaller. This is good for classification. They comprise only very closely related taxa. Why are they smaller? Because they comprise only closely related taxa. The system is in conformity with the modern views of the phytogeny and phylogeny actually, and of angiosperms, as it considers the ranales and magnoliae as the starting point among the dicots. So this is a view of a ranalian concept. Monocots are discussed after dicots in this system. Means dicots are primitive, monocots are advanced. Demerits of the system. From the point of view of plant identification, the system is not of much utility. Like Engler and Preinkel, they have given identification keys and large number of examples. Here it is not the case. Dicots have been divided into two major groups, Lignosi and Herbaceae, in this system. This kind of classification is outdated because you are dividing the plants on the basis of their habit. The trees are in Lignosi and the herbs are in Herbaceae. So this is not a trend nowadays to classify on the basis of a single character. It was used in the Aristotle era, but even then that is a demerit of the system. Secondly, it also separates the families that have close affinities. Some families which have close affinities, they go away from another in the system. Anyhow, these are the merits and demerits of Hutchinson system. But this is a pure phylogenetic system, no doubt. I think this is sufficient for this video or this lecture, and though the classifications is slightly boring, but we have no option, we have to study them. I think this is sufficient, and thank you.